I launched my first successful business at just 23 years old, and within just 3 months of launching, I had my first $10,000 month. 1 year later, I hit 100K, and my first $1 million came just over a year after that. Now, today I'm 30 years old. I've generated well over $10 million online through multiple different business models. And today I'm going to be sharing with you the exact roadmap that you can follow in order to make your first million online. So this video is going to serve as the ultimate guide, taking you through every step that it's going to take in order to achieving that first million and as quickly and efficiently as humanly possible. But of course, this isn't going to be easy. You are going to have to put in work. Anything worth having is not easy. And it doesn't matter what your motive is for making money, whether you just want more freedom, you want to provide for your loved ones, or you simply want to splash the cash and live the life. I can honestly say that making more money completely changed my life in absolutely all areas, and I want to help you make the first step to achieving that for yourself today. But making money and content in this space can be incredibly intimidating and very overcomplicated, and it certainly doesn't need to be. So this is going to be a simplified roadmap for you to actually get started so you can genuinely implement the information that you're going to take on today. So close all your tabs, get rid of everything else that you're doing, block out the next hour, and take action on the information that you learned today. And simple is the most important word to kind of start off with here, because if we want to make our first money and we've never had a business before, at least a successful business, we need to keep things simple. And it doesn't get much simpler than the service-based business model. It's you, person A, approaching person B, which is a business owner or a customer, and just providing a service which is going to add value to this person's life in exchange for money, okay? We provide a service, we get paid, we make more money, we scale up over time, okay? And so I'm going to be running through this service-based business model. This is, without a doubt, the most effective business model for people to start with no business experience. It is the perfect gateway business. So how does it work? Well, there are 3 questions we need to ask ourselves, okay? We need to ask ourselves, what, who, and how. You're going to see me looking down a little bit because I'm writing this out for you guys, and I'll throw this up on screen. So what am I selling? Who am I selling to? And how am I going to sell it? These are the 3 fundamental questions we need to get drilled down before we can break down making that first million. Okay? So let's start off with the first question. What am I selling? Because the truth is, there are thousands of different services that you could sell that'll get you to this goal. And we have to work out the best service that's individual to us so we have longevity and we're going to be motivated long term to actually sell this thing. So what do we need to consider? There are 3 main things that we need to consider when we're establishing what the perfect service is for us. What are our passions? What are our skills? And what is a demand? And once we have all 3 of these things drilled down, this is the sweet spot. This is what we're trying to get to. The combination of these 3 things will give us the perfect service that'll attract clients to us, enable us to scale the business and actually enjoy what we're doing. There's a lot of talk in this space about starting a business and having to eat shit for a long time and not do things that you enjoy, okay? Well, actually, you can start a business that you're passionate about. You can start a business that you wake up every day and you're excited to work on. I'm going to teach you that today. This is what I believe that you need to do in order to actually have longevity and stay motivated long-term in the company. Okay, so how are we actually going to achieve this? Well, we need to start off by looking at passion. So how do we identify this passion? We start off simple. Start off with our interests. Okay? How do we spend our time? What do we do on the weekends? What are our hobbies? What excites us? What makes us wake up every day and think, I want to learn more about that thing? Start with your interests and then bring it through to your values. What do you believe to be true? What technology do you believe will add value to the human race? Next, we have our dreams. What's your dream job? If you could make money doing anything, how would you do it? If you could spend the rest of your life doing one thing to make money, what would that thing be? Write it all down. And this is what you want to be doing as you're going through this today. Think about these things. Write these things down. Feel free to pause the video and write them down as we progress. What are my interests? What are my values? What are my dreams right now? And look at your life as a whole. Don't just think about what you can make money out of. Look at your life as a whole and think about genuine satisfaction and purpose and passion. What am I truly passionate about? What drives me? What makes me wake up every day, okay, and I think about that thing and it just makes me motivated. It makes me feel passionate. What do I think about that gives me energy? The strongest passions are those that recharge us like a battery. When we're focused on them, when we're learning about them, when we're invested in them, they give us more energy, more zest for life, and they motivate us to keep pushing forward. What are those things in your life? And consider those. So that's our passion. Let's move on to skills. Now, skills come in 3 different stages, really. We've got basic skills that we've really known from like 0 to 1 years. Okay, so we might be dabbling in a bit of web. We might have ran a couple of Facebook ads. We haven't really got very far with it. We're just learning the ropes. We've got some basic skills. Okay, maybe we've got some basic sales skills. We've jumped on a couple of sales calls. We haven't really progressed much further than that. Okay, anything from 0 to 1 year is a basic skill. We then have our advanced skills. So this is anything from 1 year to 3 years. Something we've been honing for a while. And I'd look to your career for this. The career is really the easiest place to look for your existing skills, because your career is the easiest place to build skills, because it's through repetition every single day. We're spending 8 hours a day actually focusing on that thing. Look to what you're studying in university if you haven't yet got a career. Okay, where are you spending the majority of your time at the moment? Okay, what skills are you actually harnessing? And try and rate those skills. Write them all down and rate those skills in one of these categories. And then we have pro skills. So this is 3 to 5 years plus. Maybe you've been editing videos for a long time. You're an expert now. You can mess around with After Effects with pretty much ease. It doesn't intimidate you. What are you pro at? Now, some of you guys won't have any advanced or pro skills. That is absolutely fine. Okay? I had pro skills in sales, but what we're ultimately trying to establish here is where our lowest hanging fruits are, where our maximum leverage is in the time that we have already invested in our lives. Okay, all of us have gone through different experiences in life. All of us have built different skills. I am not going to sit here and tell you on this video that you all need to start a specific type of service-based business at all. That would be counterintuitive. That wouldn't be leveraging the time that you have already invested in growing your ability in certain skill sets over your life, okay? Because at the end of the day, the more time that you have invested, the more money you're going to make. The more time we have invested in learning a skill, the more money we can make with that skill, because more experience that we have, the more value that we can provide. Okay, if we're a video editor that's just been around for a couple of months, our editing ability is going to be nothing like someone who's been editing for 4 years. So what that person can start at a basic level, can charge at a basic level, is very different to what somebody can charge at a pro level. And so if you have existing skills right now, I implore you to harness those and highlight them in the list that we're creating as we progress through this. Okay? What skills do I have at what level? And it's okay to have basic skills. I'm going to recommend some skills to you that you can apply to yourself even if you've got no experience whatsoever. Okay, some pretty low friction skills that you can learn that are high value and people will be willing to pay 4 figures a month for them. Okay? Next, we need to look at demand. I'm going to break this down as a bit of a pyramid. And it's kind of as similar to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So, demand is broken down in 4 key areas that we need to consider. And these 4 areas are incredibly important that we nail down in order to establish whether or not there is enough demand for the service that we are proposing to start our business in. And the most basic level of demand is need. Okay? Let's consider what the needs are of our prospects, our potential clients. And our potential clients are business owners. We want to sell to business owners typically because they're the people with all the money rather than selling to consumers. So we're going to focus on business owners. What do they need? Well, they need a website. They need sales. So these are a couple of services that we could offer. We could sell on behalf of businesses. We could build websites on behalf of them. But as I say, as we progress up this pyramid here, we're going to be increasing priority and increasing level of value of service. Okay, now I'm not here to say that a web agency isn't a good business to start, but if you're a beginner and you don't have any web experience, your skill level is basic, I definitely wouldn't be starting a web agency. If you're pro level at web already, then it might be viable to you because you can charge a lot more money to start off with. Next, we have trends. Now, many people make the mistake of thinking that to be successful in business, they have to jump on the latest trends. That is fundamentally not true. Some trends are come and go. They last for a couple of months, then they disappear. And the last thing you want to do is find yourself wrapped up in a shiny object, only to be left when it disappears and everybody moves on to something else, without a solid service that nobody wants to buy from you. So trends have to be carefully considered. A couple of trends right now that are worth considering are AI, of course, and let's say chatbots, for example, two very trendy services at the minute. But going higher up the priority list, we have gap. Where is the gap in the current market? What other service businesses exist out there, and what services are they not offering? Or, even more so, what is the target audience we're going for, which we're going to come on to in a minute? What are other people offering that target audience, that ideal customer? Or a level up from that would be identifying the gap with our ideal customer. Okay, so we're establishing our ideal customer now, but let's say we've decided that we are going to work with clinic-based businesses, okay? Hair transplant clinics, aesthetic clinics, etc. What needs do they have? What desires, what problems are they facing? What pain points do they have that our competitors aren't already offering to them? Is there a gap between the problems that they face and the solutions that they are offered at the moment? So we always have to consider the gap. What is the gap from our competition's offering? What is the gap from the ideal customer's needs and then solutions that are in front of them? And then finally, the most important thing is value. Now, value comes in many forms. The two most valuable forms of value are time and money. Does this service make the client more money, or does it reduce the time they need to spend or give them more time back in their life? Two very valuable resources. For example, now most service-based businesses opt for a service that provides value through money. It makes their clients more money. And if you can prove you're going to make someone more money, it's somewhat easier to get them to invest their cash versus saving them time. Okay, so I would recommend, broadly speaking, opting for a service that generates your clients more value through money. So these are all the things we want to consider. What are the needs? What are the trends? What are the gaps? And what value is it that I can provide? So I'm going to give you some hot examples. And this is certainly not limited to this. Some examples to get you started if you're thinking, Jordan, I'm really unsure where to start right now. One of the most popular choices is paid ads. And this is paid ads through platforms like Facebook, through Instagram, but also paid ads through platforms like YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, Snapchat. Okay, some of these alternative platforms are not hit as much from agencies and are really worth considering, depending on the target audience, the ideal customer. Okay, so a paid ad agency is a very simple and effective way for you to offer a service that generates your clients more money. It's money in, money out, and it's relatively easy to learn how to actually deliver an effective service. Next, we have landing pages. These are like websites, but they're typically one-pages and are more action optimized. So they're websites, one-page websites built with the purpose to achieve a specific result, which might be generating more leads or more customers. Next, we have content. We are well and truly in the age of digital content. If a business is not posting regularly online with content and they have a competitor that is, they're going to be outperformed very, very quickly. But businesses don't have the time to actually invest in creating their own content or the knowledge. And so actively seek other agencies out there in order to fulfill that service. I helped an agency called Hamby Media go from zero to quite literally over $250,000 in revenue per month every single month through offering a hot content service. You can check them out online. We've helped Lucas, the founder, over the years scale that business. It's a very attractive service for business owners. And AI/chatbots. A very sexy service right now, jumping on a trend. AI is taking over the world. There is no doubt about that. And a chatbot-related service is a very effective and in-demand service at the moment. And this is certainly not limited to these things. In fact, I'm going to put a link in the description. I invite you to check out a recent video I put out on the best services that you can offer as a service business owner. And I've got it in my calendar to record a new version of that video very soon. So go over to my main channel, Jordan Platten, subscribe and turn on your notification bell. And within the next month, I'm going to release another video going through the latest services right now. You can watch that and get even more inspiration on what you are going to sell to your potential customers. So let's say we do decide what service we're going to offer. How can I learn? Where can you go to learn? What are the most effective resources to learn a service right now? First of all, YouTube, like I say, click the link in the description, watch that video, subscribe to my channel. I'm always putting out content on service. Courses, okay, but be cautious of who you buy programs from. Only ever buy online courses from people that are actually practicing what they're preaching. So vet them, make sure they've actually got a business that has achieved the result that they're promising they're going to get for you. Don't just take these things as front-facing value. Make sure you do your due diligence. Books, of course. And finally, trials. And by trials, I mean free trials. Quite literally reaching out to potential clients, offering your service for free, and using that as an opportunity to learn how to fulfill an effective service, whatever that service is for you, okay? Look, I'll let you into a secret. Way back when I signed up my first ever client, I didn't even know how to run Facebook ads, okay? I knew that I was going to offer a Facebook ad service, and I signed up a local restaurant, but I didn't actually know how to get them results. And so I had to fill those boots. I had to practice what I preached. I had to be who I was pretending I was. Okay, now I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. I think you should have some basic level of understanding on how to actually do the thing, but I managed to get them results and I forced myself in an uncomfortable position. Okay, no amount of theory is going to prepare you for the real thing, so getting the opportunity to do the real thing as soon as possible will be the most effective way that you can learn and progress your skills forward. So that is what we are selling. Now we have to ask the question, who am I selling to? Now there are hundreds if not thousands of niches in the world. A niche is an industry, okay? An industry is just a different type of business. So home improvement, health, gyms, these are what we call local brick and mortar niches. I personally recommend that you start off with a local brick and mortar niche. Okay, if you start off with a local brick and mortar niche, it means that you are leveraging your locality. It means that when you are speaking to potential customers, you have something in common with them. You are John from down the road who's just a couple of miles away from them, and therefore they feel like they can transfer trust because you're not too far away. It is much harder when you're starting off to sell services to people all over the world because we don't have much leverage in building a relationship with them. That is why, broadly speaking, I recommend most service-based business owners start off in their local vicinity. In some instances, you can go off internationally, you can reach out to online clients, but broadly speaking, that is my recommendation to you. So we look at this whole bunch of niches. Maybe we write down 5 potential niches that we want to actually reach out to. We then need to take them through a filtering process to make sure that they actually need our service that we're proposing to offer in our business. And that filtering process is going to look something like this. We need to put them through a problem filter first. Do they actually need, or do they have the problem that we are trying to solve through our service? Because there's a big problem if they don't. This is going to be a filter. This is going to be a beautiful drawing here for you. So this is the problem filter. Do they have the problem that we are trying to solve for them? If the answer is maybe, then it's not a suitable niche. You need to be absolutely certain that the problem that you are looking to solve through your service is an active problem that this niche faces. And if you're not sure of that, I'm going to bring you through a couple of ways that you can establish that in a moment. After we've put them through that filter, we want to put them through the budget filter. Can they afford to buy our service? There's going to be some smaller holes going on here. Okay, it's getting finer every time we're removing people from this process. Can they actually afford the service that we are offering to them? Are they making enough money in that niche as a broad spectrum? What is the average amount of money that business is making in this industry? And then finally, we take them into the urgency filter. Now, this filter is, I would say, optional. It is not the difference between you being able to sign up clients and not being able to sign up clients, okay? But it will make a big difference in the speed in which you're able to scale the company. If there is urgency in order to solve the problem that the client is facing in their business, they have the money that is required to invest in said service, and they want to solve it now, it means your sales process is going to be a lot easier. It means that you're going to make cash a lot quicker than everybody else. I would say urgency is not imperative to your success, but what urgency will do is it will increase and speed up the time it takes in order to grow your business and sign up clients. So what does the ideal client actually look like? We get an idea of the industry. What does the ideal client look like? Okay, my handwriting is getting progressively worse throughout this, so apologies. First of all, we want to make sure there's an ease of contact. Can we get hold of this client relatively easily? Can we call them? Can we email them? Can we direct message them? Can we go and see them? Okay. If they're multiple locations, they're a huge enterprise business, and it's going to be very hard to get hold of the business owner. It's probably not a suitable, ideal customer. Okay. So we need to establish, are they easy to contact? Then we want to establish decision making power. Whoever we're speaking to, do they have the authority or the power to make a decision on whether or not they can move forward with this? So we always want to be speaking to the business owner. Broadly speaking, the business owner is the person with the most authority and the power to actually say yes to working with you. Does the client have aligned values? Do their values align with ours? Do they have the same motives as us? Are they ethical in the way that they run their business? Do they want to deliver a great service to their clients? Because believe me, you don't want to be making money for someone who doesn't hold themselves in a high regard, who doesn't hold themselves with the same values as you, because they'll be a pain in the ass working with, and the amount of money you'll make from them just won't be worth the effort. And you can usually figure this out by establishing whether they have a good reputation. What are their reviews like online? Go on Google, go on Facebook, look at the comments on their ads. Take the comments on their ads with a pinch of salt. A lot of people hate on posts, but you will usually find some customers that will post some positive things as well. What is their reputation like? And finally, consider their scalability. How scalable is the business itself? Are you very quickly going to bring them to their limit? Because we want to be able to make our client as much money as possible so they can stay with us for a long time. If our service is going to increase their revenue to a point where they actually can't take any more clients, how effective is it going to be? It means that we're going to have to be signing up lots and lots of new clients all the time in order for us to scale the company, whereas we want to be scalable through working with our clients for a long period of time. Okay, and if we have all of these things figured out, have them all established, then we know we've got ourselves an ideal client there. Now, I do have a best niches video on my channel. I'm going to put another link in the description. You can go and watch it out. I rank all of the main niches for service-based businesses in order of best to worst. You can go and watch that after this one. A little bit of homework for you. It's going to dive into this in even more detail for you. So we know who we're selling to. Now the final question is, how will I sell them? How am I going to sell to them? Well, I introduce you to what is called a sales funnel. So this is a funnel. It's like a upside down pyramid. You may have or may not have seen one of these before. And a sales funnel is the process that we are taking someone through to squeeze them from being someone that doesn't know us to someone that's going to buy us. We want them to know, like, and trust us. Okay? And we do this through, first of all, attraction. So we need to attract the client. We then need to nurture them. And then we're going to convert them. I'm going to break each of these three things down. So, attract. How do we attract clients? We do this in two different ways. And the first way is through outbound. So these are people that don't know us. And then we have inbound. So we have outbound sales and inbound sales, two terms you might have heard of. Outbound is, as it sounds, us physically going out there and trying to grab clients ourselves. It's putting ourselves out into the world. And this is what I recommend for 99% of beginners out there. You need to get yourself out there. It's very uncomfortable and you're not going to want to do it, but it'll help you build foundational skills that will last throughout every single business you touch in the future. If it scares you to do outbound, that is the exact reason you need to do outbound. Okay, because it's going to take you out of your comfort zone and into something which is frankly quite intimidating. So I'm going to rank the best outbound strategies in order of best to worst. And it actually ends up being the most uncomfortable as well at the top. Isn't that the thing? Everything in life that is the most uncomfortable is the most effective and the best for us. So first we have door-to-door. I used to be a door-to-door salesman. I used to knock down 50 doors a day, selling to real estate agents, walking in a room as a 21-year-old guy, selling to a whole room of salespeople. It was grueling, but it taught me so much about myself and it improved my sales ability. Door-to-door is the most effective way to go and sign up clients in an outbound sense. It is time-consuming, but it's very effective. Next, we have cold calls. And this is actually physically calling up business owners. I've got many a video on cold calling. I'll put a link in the description so you can go and check that out. Okay, you can even see me live cold calling on my YouTube channel. All of this stuff that I'm going through today, I break down in so much detail. So if any of this is interesting you and you're liking what you see, make sure you subscribe and turn your notification bell on so you get notified when we bring out new vids. Next, we have direct mail. So actually sending out letters to our potential customers. I butchered that. This is a dying art that many people don't invest the time into, and therefore it's so effective now because not many people are prepared to do it. Then we have DMs, and this is social DMs, so messaging on platforms like Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn, for example. And then finally, we have email. Now, if you're watching this and you've already tried to start a service-based business and the only thing that you did was email, okay, probably get an idea why it hasn't been working so well for you. Email is the least effective outbound strategy. It's not to say it doesn't work. We have huge success with emails. I've sent hundreds of thousands of emails over the years and made so much revenue from those. They do work very well, but it takes a huge amount of volume for you to get the same amount of success as any of these other things in the outbound strategy. Okay, let's look at inbound. What are some of the most effective? Okay, again in order. Referrals. Referrals are very effective. These are referrals from your existing network, from people you already know, but also referrals from partners, so other complementary service providers that don't conflict in your services but have access to your ideal customers, and also just referrals from your existing customers when you sign them up and they introduce you to other people. It's when our business really starts snowballing. Next, we have paid ads. So we can run ads for ourselves on various platforms. We then have events. So actually going out there and attending industry events. Put yourself out to the world. Let people see you. That's the most effective way to get clients. Let people see you. Let them meet you. Okay, there might be many other people that offer the same service as you. People don't want to buy your service. They want to buy from other people. They're not buying from your brand. They're buying from you as an individual. They want to know they can trust you. And the best way to build a relationship with someone that makes them think they can trust you is by being physically in person and seeing them. We then have content. So posting on our own socials and getting inbound traffic. And then finally we have SEO. Again, this is an order of priority. Now, an agency that's making hundreds of thousands on a monthly basis, in our ideal situation will have one inbound and one outbound strategy working really well. Sometimes you'll have a couple of each, a couple of outbound, a couple of inbound. That's when you're making a couple of 100,000 a month. When you're first starting out, you just want to try out a bunch of these things and see what is the most effective for you based on your service and your target audience. But these are definitely the most effective ways for you to go out and attract clients for your business. Just hold tight with me just for 1 second, guys. I'm encroaching on time. I've got a group coaching call inside of our private community. I have a private community called the Affluent Academy. We mentor people on how to start their own service-based businesses, going from 0 to 10K, 100K a month. We've worked with over 4,500 people over the years. I've got a live call in literally 1 minute, okay? But I'm only a few minutes away from the content here, so I'm going to leave these guys just hang in just on the thread for a second, and I'll just start that call right now, and they can sit in the waiting room for a minute before we round this up. Next, we have nurture. How are we going to nurture our clients? Now, nurture is something that only really applies to inbound clients, but it does also apply to those outbound who don't buy from us straight away. These are people that they're already aware of us, they're in our ecosystem, they already know who we are, maybe they follow us on social media, okay, and we're going to build a relationship with them over time through multiple mediums. Really in no order of what is the most effective, but the first is content. So we can put content on our own social media to really show that we're practicing what we're preaching and we are who we say we are. We can educate our target audience. We can do the same through an email list. It's a very effective asset to build, is building an email list and putting out and sending out weekly newsletters. It's hosting live events. These might be online webinars, but they might also be in-person events that can be incredibly effective. And then finally, resources. As you get more experience within your niche and within your service, you'll be able to create free resources, ebooks, mini courses, training videos, VSLs that are going to provide free value to your target audience, make them trust you, and therefore be more likely to actually convert. Now, we have to convert. We need to get these potential clients over the line. How are we going to do this? Well, there are two ways. Most people think that you need to jump on a sales meeting. That's not always true. You can convert your clients through a web purchase, so directly buying from you without the need of a sales call. And you can, of course, jump on a sales call. And what really dictates which way you go here is the price of your service. So if it's under 1K, and that's USD, then you can go for a web purchase. And if it's over 1K, you want to go for a sales call. This is broadly speaking here. Under 1K web purchase, over 1K sales call. I've seen people close 2K products on a web purchase, okay, but broadly speaking, people would like to speak to someone if they're spending in the thousands. If you are jumping on sales calls, which the majority of you guys will be doing, you want to make sure that you are prioritizing in-person meetings if you have the ability to do so. In-person meetings will always convert more effectively than virtual meetings, but that isn't always possible. If you are doing a virtual meeting, avoid the phone and make sure you're on a video call, like a Zoom call or a Google Meet. It's going to be very effective. Now, these things do feed into each other, and I am going to be uploading a video very soon in the next couple of weeks, which is going to be going through our meeting strategy, our sales call meeting strategy. So make sure you look out for that. It's coming up in literally 2 weeks' time. So yeah, look out for that on the channel and we'll dive into that in some detail. Okay, so this is how we are going to convert our client. We're going to take them through attraction, nurture, and then we're ultimately going to convert them. And if we have all of these things nailed down, then this is what it can look like to make our first million with this business model. One client, on average, is going to be worth anything from 1K to 3K per month to the business. But they're working with you every single month on a retainer. These are usually repeat services that we're offering. Ideally, your service wants to be repeat, something that your clients will want to stay with you for a long time for. So that means we have to consider something called our average LTV. LTV is lifetime value. This is the average amount of money our client will spend through their lifetime of actually working with us. And so our average LTV as a goal wants to be 10K. Maybe more. It may be less. Everything I'm going through is arbitrary, okay? This is going to really be dictated by your service, by your experience, by your skill set level, by the amount of time that you've been in this space. But your goal is for a 10K LTV. Some of you guys will have much more than that. We do in our agency. If we have a 10K LTV and we want to make $1 million, that is 100 clients. So to make our $1 million, we need 100 clients to say yes to working with our service. Now, I know what you may be thinking. Well, Jordan, that's all well and good, but I'm not going to be getting a 10K LTV straight away. You're absolutely correct. You're going to be signing up clients for less. You might even do a couple of free trials to start off. But I just want to give you some context to what is actually possible looking at the big picture of building a service-based business. Now, you might need 200 clients to get you to that point. But actually, when you think about it, 100, 200, even 300 people saying yes to working with you isn't that many people. If you're putting in the time, 8 hours a day, you're building your business, you're focusing your efforts, and you're really charging at this. Getting 200-300 clients isn't that difficult. What it is going to take is a period of time in order for you to get to that point. And you may be thinking, well, that's a lot of time, right? That's a lot of personal investment. But there are things that we are going to do throughout this process that are going to alleviate the stress from us. We don't need to be running all of our outbound systems ourselves. We don't need to be running our inbound systems. We don't even need to be fulfilling our servers ourselves, because through something called automation and through something called delegation, we can expedite the process of getting those 100 or 200 clients. We can automate the process through softwares and tools. And there are many things that we can use to automate our sales acquisition. And then we can delegate our process through hiring team members. And therefore, we multiply the amount of time that we're spending on a daily basis building the business. You can hire people on service. You can hire people on sales. You can get off your own sales calls. You can work as many hours as you want in the day. I know agency owners that work as little as 2 hours a day. I know other agency owners that are similar to me, that are addicted to the business, that work 10, 12 hours a day. Those people are obviously going to get quicker results in the business, but it's your company and you can run this however you want. And that is the beauty of a service-based business. And look, I'll be honest with you. I think the service-based business is the ultimate manifestation of a beginner business model. It is the ultimate gateway business model that opens up opportunity to so many other different companies that you may start in the future. The service-based business opens up opportunity to product-based businesses. The service business opens up opportunity to software-based companies. But all you need to do to open up that opportunity is actually get started and start providing value to the world. The more value you provide as an individual, the more money you will make and the more opportunity that will come to you. And the truth is, when you start off, opportunity is relatively scarce. Okay, we don't have much opportunity, so we're looking for it and we're clinging to it. And we apply things like what you have learned in this video today. We ask ourselves what, who, how, and we identify through order of elimination where the opportunity is. But when you get started and when you start making people money and when you start providing value and when you start investing your time into your education and you start learning about new skills and you start learning about how to deliver value to a market, opportunity starts coming to you. And your problem stops being who is going to say yes to me, and it starts being who am I going to say no to? So waste no time. Get started today, and I'll speak to you soon. Cheers.